We need to test lizards eating like critters and dung beetles and other such things. So let's once again go out in the field. So let's go to the dwelling. Put that there. Any lizards? I guess I could just spawn in all the stuff I need. Let's go to the bottom of the level. It usually makes it easier to see what you're doing because the camera gets locked. Okay, we can do it down here. I don't want the dog making noise the whole time. Alright, so as you may know, lizards eat dung beetles in this video game. So let's go get that. If you don't know that, they do. It's kind of cool. World building or something. I don't know. Yummy, yummy. Munchy, munchy. And they're perfectly fine when they're doing this. Now, I think the first thing that happens here, let's see, I think when they're rolling, they cannot eat these, if I recall correctly. Let me set up an environment for this guy to roll in. Something like this. I don't want him bouncing at the very end, so I'll do this. Give myself a few more platforms to mess around with. Alright, so we got our dung beetle. Kind of. I really wish it didn't change what I have selected when I do that. I need to maybe look into adding an option to Overlucky for that. Yeah, it looks like he just kills the dung beetles while rolling, which is what I thought happens. Alright, so he won't eat them, but the next thing that can happen is this. Wait, that didn't... Hold on, I thought he... No, it's when he's not rolling and you throw it at him. He'll freak out. So let me get him over here. So if you throw a dung beetle at a lizard, he just kind of wigs out. Which I think is a bug with the AI state, but I don't know exactly like why this happens. So lizards go into this state when they have 1 health and they have room to walk when they see the player. Let me explain that first. So if I go spawn another lizard. Alright, so this guy's got 3 health. So if I put him on a little 1-tile ledge like this, and he sees me, he's gonna jump and roll, as they do. Now, if I get him down to a more suitable amount of health, if he's out in the open, he'll freak out and start doing this. That's what triggers that behavior. But for some reason, if the lizard is on a 1-tile ledge, their AI resets like you just saw him do there, and then they'll still roll even if they have 1 hit point, because again, there's no consistency in this video game. So like you can't even trust this game mechanic to work correctly because it doesn't. Their AI state is different when they're up on a single tile ledge like that. I think it's the same thing if they're on a pedestal like that. They will roll, but if they're out in the open, they won't. It's because they can't flee. You know, once again, I think we're validating the bugs. If Dev in chat would like to come over here and tell me that they do that because they flee, I would be more than willing to accept that answer, but until then, I'm going to assume it's a bug, because almost everything else in this game that I have looked into in my career has been a bug. So that's the precedent that has been established. But anyways, for some reason, if you throw a beetle at them, watch in slow motion. Actually, we can get the lizard state. Let me get the state real quick, just for anyone who cares about the technical details of it. Alright, so the lizard is in the standing state, which I think either means it's walking or holding still. It switches to state 10 for its AI state, which is unnamed. And he like tries to eat the bug, but you'll notice the bug is not attached to the lizard's mouth like it would be normally. And then after it finishes this animation, the lizard's going to go into state 8, which is the panic state. I don't know if this is intense music. This is kind of like atmospheric background music. I fucking love this track. Thank you, Undertale. I think there's slightly more intense music here, but I tried to avoid like super intense music. But let's see what happens here. The other one thing I want to test with the mitt specifically is whether or not I could throw it from behind him, and whether him seeing me is the reason why this is acting weird. So let's see what happens in this scenario. So the lizard's going to turn around, but it's not going to actually eat the dung beetle. The dung beetle doesn't get like attached properly to the lizard for some reason, which is normally what would happen. I can actually show that afterward. So if I detach the dung beetle, I think it's in state as well. It's not attached to anything. It's not like parented to the lizard during the eating animation like it's supposed to be. And then at the end of the animation, it just freaks out. Yeah, it just starts running around, so it doesn't even have to see me. I was out of its range. I can show the range real quick. Another chance to flex this mod if it doesn't crash on me, which it might, but it shouldn't. I think it works right now. So let's see if I get this guy to hold still. He should show a range. There we go. Yeah, it does work. This is the attack range for the lizard. There we go. And you saw him eating it normally there. So just to compare the scenarios here. Let me add one in and show what it looks like when he actually eats this. And it should get attached. So this is not a terribly interesting bug because there's nothing you can really do with this, but it is always a curiosity. Anything that changes the lizard's state will fix that, so he stops jumping around. He just switches to the panic state for some reason. It doesn't like damage the lizard or anything, just any like state reset. If you like stun him or anything else will reset that. So let's see what happens here. He starts the bite right there. So I think what happens is if the lizard... Okay, I think what it is here is there's like a 6-frame window or something during that eating animation before the beetle gets picked up by the lizard. If the beetle is no longer in front of the lizard when that animation is complete, the lizard freaks out. And if the beetle is still there, then the beetle gets attached to the lizard and the animation continues in a slightly different AI state. Where once again, the lizard still cannot see the player. And then there we go, the animation finished, and then the lizard can see the player and starts attacking again. So I don't know why exactly it's like that, but this can probably happen. Let's see, how might this happen? I wonder what the range is on this. Let me get the beetle really close. Does the beetle stop moving when the lizard starts eating it? No, it's running away. Oh yeah, there you go. You don't even have to throw it. If you have a beetle moving away from the lizard, it'll just freak out like this apparently. And then again, this lizard should have 3 health, so if I stomp it, this will just reset its state. What if you feed Quillback a dung beetle? I mean, we could try it, but I don't think much is gonna happen here. Okay, I need the beetle to be facing the other direction. Facing left. Beetle goes right. I mean, I guess technically it's going backwards, but I would not have programmed it like this. Beetle is facing left apparently, which technically it is. That's not how I would have programmed that, but I mean, there's a lot of things in this game that I would not have programmed like this. I think I know why you never see this happen in the wild. The lizard barely moves faster than the beetle. Like, this almost never happens. The beetle is pretty much always going to hit a wall before you actually see that happen. Like, it's very unlikely that you're going to see this interaction because it just has to be in, like, the perfect spot. You just switch it to face the other way. Now, here's the Pikmin music. I told somebody that this was on one of my playlists. My brain turned off. Facing left. Yeah, this is a really rare interaction to see naturally. Pickled men. Let's see. So the other interaction I wanted to show with this that's really stupid. Did I discover this with a freeze ray? I think that's what I discovered this with. So let me do this in a scenario where, dude, chill out. Let me just give it a lot of health so it won't die. I think this is where I discovered this. So let's, with some frame precision, let's see if we can get this to happen. Put that down. Grab the beetle. No, okay, it's not knocking it out of my hands. Maybe you have to have God mode on, and that's how I discovered that. Okay, well, let's try this then. Let's wedge ourselves right up into the lizard's hitbox so that the beetle... It's hard to tell here. The beetle is overlapping the hitbox. Mine is not. Let's see if this knocks it out of my hands. Yeah, I think this is infinite blood, by the way. This is not what I was expecting to happen. We need a new category. This is a meme category in the making right here. This is a meme category. Hold on, can I do this naturally? This is incredibly important. And I need to turn off God mode to make sure that it plays out correctly. There, I turned off God mode. Let's try that again. You're so stupid. You can just hand feed the lizards. Like, it looks like you could do it and then just leave. If you get out of the way, you just feed the... Oh god. This is meme category material right here. If you just want like a shitty like throwaway category, this is just like lizard snack percent. I like that one. You literally hand it a beetle to a lizard. Like, it's in your hands and then the lizard eats it. That's the category. That's it. That's all you have to do. Time is when you do that. Maybe ideally you don't take damage either, like that. Which actually, what happened there was I hit the lizard, I got knocked out of its hands, and then it freaked out because it did the AI glitch that usually happens where I need to pick it up and reset it. Here you go, buddy. Nummy nummy. Heck's gonna get world record. I'm gonna make a note. I want to do this in a run and just like have a time, just in case like anybody here or even myself like makes this happen. If somebody already did it, I'm not even surprised. Lizard snack percent. You did it. Well, I did it too then. We independently discovered this terrible idea. Make a category out of this. Alright, we need another dung beetle. I keep not using this fucking feature that you can just use, not this. Add selected item. No, hold on. How do you do this? There's a way to get these. Is it like Control 1? Control Shift 1? Okay, what are the hotkeys? Hotbar. Spawn kit. Is it just hotbar? I thought there was a specific one to create a hotbar item. Maybe you like... Oh, do you use like mouse 5 or something on it? Let me check. I might have scrolled past it because I'm a nincompoop. Okay, already did it. Okay, well, never mind then. There goes my glory. Why is this not in the meme category is my question then. Come on. How could this have been around for so long? Let me just try to type 1. Oh, I accidentally... Oh, I changed my game speed. Hold on. There we go. It resets it. Okay, I want dung beetle. How do I get this in my hotbar? Do I, like, press 1? No, I didn't do anything. Shift 1. That spawned kit number 1. Control 1. Alt 1. Control Alt 1. Mouse 5. That fucked up my camera. That sent it to the shadow. I don't know how to do this! God damn it, this was a cool feature. Help! You discovered it yesterday, and then you told Gugu instead of me. I can't believe this. I feel so betrayed. It's not like you didn't know I was gonna stream today. It's fine. I forgive. We should make it a meme category. I think it's important that we have that as a meme category. And here I am acting like the Overlunky expert, and I don't know how to create a hotbar item. I can't figure it out. I'm sad. I have no idea how to do this. I don't think AOK did that, Mel, unless you were there to see it happen. It seems like something you would do. Control Shift B. Or is it hidden? Maybe that's why it's not working. Maybe it's toggled off. I didn't do anything, but I might not have any hotbar items. How do you do this? I can add items to kits. That's not what we want. Oh. Wait, do I have to type it out? The fuck is that? I'm scared to spawn whatever that is. No, we're getting rid of that. Hold on. What went wrong here? We're not spawning that. I am terrified to spawn whatever that is. Okay, if I type this out, will this work? There we go. Okay, it was those buttons. My brain just, they were grayed out. So my brain just didn't process those buttons at all. They were just grayed out. That's user error right there. That's stupid user is what that is. But I did not harass the tool devs about figuring that out. I fixed it myself. Now we can make Beetles. To set the spawn entity, I just click on that. So anyways, the other thing, I'm going to turn God mode back on. I want to test the other thing, which I think was that if you just like walk into a rolling lizard, it like knocks it out of your hands or something. Regu, how do OL work? Oh god, I feel so sorry for the tool devs sometimes, like just having to answer questions of people who do not know what they're doing. Like, did you read the README? Did you set an install directory? This is not working anymore. How the fuck did I get this? Does anybody remember the stream where this happened, where a lizard knocked? Oh, was it a frozen lizard? Hold on, I think I know what it was. Dregu, like, Dregu and Mal, Dregu especially gets mad at people sometimes. I understand. I so understand why Dregu gets pissed off at the people that ask questions on the Discord, because you get some incredibly fucking stupid questions there, like insanely dumb questions. I need the lizard to be over here. I know what it was. I think I froze a rolling lizard and then walked through it with a dung beetle while I was testing something else, is what happened. Didn't work. Let me turn off God mode. That's great. Has to be stunned. Wait, is it specifically stunned? Okay, let me try that. You might be right. Let me see. All right, I don't have God mode on anymore. Hold on a sec. Hold on, folks. Okay, this just in. It has to be stunned, not rolling. I thought it was a freeze ray interaction. Stunned, yes. Let's just search for the word stunned. That'll probably get me what I want. Hotbar 2, let's go. Alright. Somebody who probably knows more about this than I do. So we whip the lizard. Yeah, there it is. Okay, that's what it was. I, for some reason, thought it had to be frozen and rolling. God gamer, don't make fun of me. I forgot I didn't have God mode on. I need my crutch. Whip lizard. Run into it with dung beetle. Let me turn these off. We'll just keep the lizard one. I'm glad that this hasn't crashed so far. Boink. It just drops out of your hands and bounces. Doesn't it? I think it also keeps bouncing, right? If you like put it up against the wall. Let's see what happens. All I did was I just pressed Control P. Why'd that start a new level? I have no idea why that started. I just pressed Control P. That's my shortcut for turning off frame advance. Whatever, we can set it up again. Alright, dung beetle. Stunned lizard. Bounces off. We don't know why. Let's try something different. So let me stun. The stun timer. Move this out of the way. We don't need this here. Alright, stun timer, I think 255? Or no, stun timer can be set to something really high, if I recall correctly. You know, that's a weird stun state. Let me stun him naturally first and then do it. Okay, this guy is going to be stunned for like several minutes now, so we have plenty of time to test this. Dung beetle. Forgot I'm on 1-2. I must have accidentally hit the next level keybind, whatever that is. Yeah, I don't know if it says what it is here. It's in the shortcuts. I must have fat fingered it. So what happens here? Oh, you don't even have to be holding it. God, this glitch is so stupid. I wish there was something useful we could do with it. But you don't even have to be holding it. It just... Oh, there we go. There we go. The lizard turns around to like do the animation, but then it doesn't actually eat the dung beetle at all. It just kind of stays stunned. Put it in a one-tile pit. We're getting to that. What's our stun timer looking like? I think I could probably set it to this. Okay, yeah, it's max. I think it's a short, so that's the highest value I could set that to. That's gonna be stunned for a while. Yeah, we're absolutely going to put this thing in a pit with beetles, but let's be diligent about this first and try to understand what's going on. Like, why the beetle sometimes, like, pulls out to the other side. Alright, so let's see. Let's get the lizard. What state is it in? Like, what is it trying to do right now? Okay, you can see it happen for 1 frame. So the beetle crawls up. It goes to state 10, which was like the started eating state for a single frame. Pulls the beetle up into its face. And then it switches out. Is this... Oh, yeah, this is Donkey Kong 64. This is Frantic Factory. Bowser's Inside Story is on my, like, to-do list of soundtracks to listen to, but I do not currently have any music from it, if I recall correctly. Like, all the, like, Mario, like, RPG and, like, follow-up RPG type games I want to listen to at some point. I just haven't done it yet. Yeah, it looks like it touches it. It gets set to AI state 10 for 1 frame, but it's still stunned, and then it just, like, knocks the beetle away for some reason. Which, I'm not gonna, like, dig into the exact, like, final details of why the beetle gets shot away, because unlike stuff like the back item duping, this isn't that important, and I think it's not a good investment of my time. What I've shown here is basically the interesting interaction of the beetle, like, getting, like, picked up by the lizard and then bouncing off of it because it's stunned for some reason. So theoretically, if you use the camera to stun lock a lizard, you could put a bunch of beetles in the pit with it. What state does it go into when I walk over the beetle? Oh, the beetle enemy? I guess I can find out. Entity, detach. I honestly have no idea. Let's see what it's currently in the walking state. Okay, so it has its own stun state when it gets hit like this. It instantly goes back to working correctly. What if I walk through it? What does it do? It also goes into the stun state. And then it stays like that for a little bit longer, and then it recovers. I think it just goes into the stun state for a few frames, and then when it's on the ground and you're not touching it, it'll be fine. It also looks like that only happens like the first time you intersect it, and then after that it doesn't do it anymore. Oh, wait, no, I'm walking. Hold on. What triggers this? Walking past... I think maybe it's like the player needs to be moving at a specific speed. I think that's what it is. I think the beetle, like, stumbles if the player hitbox touches it while the player is moving at a certain speed, I think is what triggers it to do that. If I run into the wall here, I have no speed, so nothing happens. Yeah, I think that's what it is. That's what causes them to do that. Okay, well, that's not terribly important. I was curious about that. But anyways, the beetle goes into the stun state. And when you're eating the beetle, well, not when I'm eating it, when the lizard's eating it, what happens? Alright, let's get another one of these up. God, this is so dumb. This is such inconsequential science, but I got to know. I have to know how this works. So here's our second lizard. Let's see what happens. Okay, so it goes into state 10. It stays in state 10 for a few frames, and then it switches to state 3 is what happens. So it stays in 10 while it's running the animation. We are so far down the rabbit hole that I'm not going to find my way out. We gotta go down. We gotta find the other end. We're not going back up this rabbit hole. We finish this. So this one goes to 10, and then it grabs the beetle at 3. But the lizard here, I think this is, again, I'm about to write this off as state machine jank, but I think the reason why it doesn't work properly for this one, let me pull the beetle out. I'm scared. I'm gonna rip both of them. I'm scared. We'll get a new beetle. I think in the case of this one, it's like skipping the second part entirely. It's like just immediately drops the beetle, and I think that just has to do with the state machine not knowing to do while the lizard is stunned. So let's detach this. I think we are actually almost at the end of the rabbit hole here, but we are going to make the pit of lizards and beetles. How's this guy looking? Just reset that stun timer, make sure you never wake up. Yeah, you can see the loop there. It flickers 10 for 1 frame. Maybe a little longer, I think, if the beetle is like stuck in the lizard like this. Yeah, it's 10 for every frame that the beetle is in the lizard. And then it just gets like shot out in a weirdly inconsistent direction. Which is something where, like, if we could weaponize this bug, I would absolutely look into why it gets shot out in a specific direction, but I don't think I want to sink that much time into this, so let's just have some fun instead. Smaller hole. Oh, I know. We're making it smaller. I just wanted to admire this for a second. All right, let's narrow it down. We don't need that much hole. Lizard, you come down here. Smaller hole. There we go. I don't think they even touch the ground. Let's do this with a better floor tile. There we go. You can actually see what's going on here. Oh, they do touch the ground. There's actually some on the ground under it. Huh. I wonder if the lizard can only interact with like 1 beetle per frame. You know, that's probably what it is. I bet the lizard can only interact with 1 beetle per frame. So that's essentially the limit on this. So if I were to get rid of some of the ones up here, it'll probably like start sucking them out from the floor. Yeah, yep, there you go. You see it pulled up all the ones under it. So that's what it is. The lizard selects a beetle, probably just the first one, the collision 2 function returns. And that's the beetle that it tries to and fails to eat while it's in the stun state, because this video game is stupid. It doesn't work correctly. So we can put it over to the side a little bit. I think we've about exhausted the potential of this bit of science. I could obviously put more lizards in here, but you guys get the point. And that lizard is... How long is that lizard sleeping for? This is how long... This is an accurate simulation of how it feels to be stunned in the loop in Cosmic Ocean. Like, what this lizard is going through right now. This is the Cosmic Ocean experience right here. You get hit by 1 broken arrow, and you might as well just get up and, like, go make dinner, because you're still going to be stunned by the time you get back. And for anyone wondering how long I actually stunned that lizard for... 18.2 minutes. So yeah, that lizard's having a bad day. Any other thoughts on this before we try something not related to dung beetles? Alright, no questions. Let's try other critters, because this was on the to-do list. Do lizards interact with any other critters in the game? And my intuition is no, they do not, but I do want to check. There are 2 other critters that lizards could normally touch, and that is butterflies and snails from the volcanodors or whatever at the bottom of 1.4. Alright, so wakey wakey. So let's just put this guy in a hole and see if anything interesting happens. Highly doubt it, but we're gonna put every critter in here. Doesn't eat butterflies, which is weird because in real life these would eat butterflies, but they didn't think about that. They would also eat snails in real life. Fish, probably not. Anchovy will crash my game. Crab, nothing. Locust, not looking good. They would also eat those. They didn't think of any edge cases. Literally nothing. They're just like, nah, dung beetles, that's it. That's the only one. That's the only one we want to program in. The modders are never going to do anything with their game. Firefly, drone. I don't know, if they ate drones, I would be quite surprised. Yeah, they don't interact with any other critters, so whoever asked that earlier, they don't. Unless they interact with anchovies. Which we'll test for the sake of, like, scientific consistency. We will test anchovies as well. Let's see, actually I need to spawn the water first. Do not spawn this. Your game will crash. Spawn this one. And as I would have expected, they don't eat that either. Grubs? Whoa, the big grubs? I was like, wait a minute, what are you talking about? These ones? No, too big. Tadpoles? Probably not. I highly doubt it at this point. They don't seem to eat anything except dung beetles. That's really what this is looking like. I mean, there's various other bug-themed creatures in this game that lizards just don't interact with, and at this point I would be astonished if they programmed in any edge cases for these kinds of situations. I mean, I can let the water out. Doesn't think it matters. No, don't do it. Don't go in there. Actually, you're fine. Yeah, I don't think they eat anything else.